Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Fantasy Booking Series, Episode 2. If you want to check out the other episodes, they'll be in the description box, because I actually got my channel organized now. I finally fixed it, so there you go. I am, I guess, one of the co-hosts, the NXT Four Horsemen Predictions Heavyweight Champion, Owen Finch, and I'm here with, let's have...
the co-DDQ champion, James and Hebert, and this is the belt I have because
that's your belt.
I don't have an actual title yet to flaunt around. It's better than not having anything.
Well, at least you don't have to, have a title and then just give it up right afterwards. You can
I should have fucking strapped the Luigi hat to the belt.
Too late. The video's already being recorded, so...
Yeah, listen. You're Captain Ginyu. That's all your title needs to be.
Yeah.
You're captain of the ship squad.
And let's have the person. Let's have the person who's got 2 championships introduce himself.
Wouldn't that be James?
No, isn't that's you?
Because of the WYW included, and your South Boston one.
Oh yeah, it's true. The name's Raccoon. It rhymes with Doom, and you're gonna be hurting all through June. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the executioner, my collection.
June already passed.
It's already there. That's in video. You can't even fucking get rid of it now.
Okay.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the executioner, Michael Alexa, the WIW World Heavyweight Champion, and right now the South Boston Fighting Game Heavyweight Champion. So,
which doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah.
Your boy. Even when I lose a title, I gain one with even more power.
You gained 2. Well, actually, no, you already had 1. Now you have 2 again.
I already had 1. I gained another with even more power.
And then I gained another.
Because I don't have to defend that title till next year. Thank Christ.
Yeah, so you'll be a champion for a whole year at least.
The longest reigning champion on any podcast.
Yeah, you might be.
All right. Said.
We're doing the fantasy booking. If you don't know what fantasy booking is, go watch the channel update video from the summer because James explained it in the best way possible. So go watch that.
And we don't have to keep repeating ourselves unless you people want that. And then I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you people. But anyway.
Yeah. The last time we did the Jumping Bomb Angels, crowning the first women's tag team champions, and now we're gonna do something fun. This was, James's storyline. We're gonna take turns picking each one. James gets first pick just because it just kind of worked out that way. So,
there you go.
I was supposed to get first pick, but then we reviewed ECW One Night Stand last week, so we kind of figured with what we're talking about today, makes sense. This is gonna be 3 parts, by the way. We're rebooking the WWE ECW brand from 2006 to 2008.
7. It's 7. It's not 8.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying. Oh, yeah. Right. I forgot though. It lasted till 2010.
Yeah, it lasted to 2010, but I ain't going that far.
Yeah. We're only going to 2007. So, this is where we're gonna take it over to, because James is gonna be doing most of the talking in this video because he's mainly booked the whole thing. And, if me and Mike have any questions, we'll just ask him. But why don't we take this over to Mike? Mike, why don't you say what WWE actually did in real life with the ECW brand?
All right, so here's what happened. All right, this is before Triple H came in. This is before Paul Heyman decided to take full creative control of his product. But sadly, happened a little bit too late. Vince McMahon looked at the folder of things I haven't done yet. He picked it up. He looked at it. He threw it out the window. He picked up old recycled ideas. His favorite folder. He picked that motherfucker up and he threw it at a fan as hard as possible just to see which one would stick to the wall the fastest. And that's what he went with. And that's ECW booking.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'll explain a little bit broader. So everybody knows that in 2004, something was very different with WWE before ECW was ever brought back as an official thing. And you will notice that the star power was getting lesser and lesser as the years would progress, and now it has brought us to where we are today. The reason this has happened is solely because Vince McMahon doesn't want to make a new star, because he doesn't want guys like Austin, who had got injured way too soon and wasn't able to really do much with them, guys like The Rock and Brock to take their talents elsewhere, to better their careers, and WWE not getting the piece of the profit. So Vince was just like, fucking screw it. We're not going to have stars. We're going to have props.
Yeah.
And enter the Cena era, enter the Batista era, enter, the Reign of Terror, etc. Right?
That's why, and John Cena could have been, he could have been in Hollywood years ago if he wasn't a prop.
Yep. But because he was a prop, Vince, but it basically, instead of becoming big stars like they could have been, everybody was basically paid to be, how do I put this? It's basically like paid slave labor, where, you get paid, but, you can only get so far.
Yeah.
Thus, the glass ceiling was officially created. Now, fast forward a year later from 2004, when Brock fucking left, flipped off the crowd, that whole thing. ECW One Night Stand 2005 happens, and it is fantastic. One of the best shows WWE put on in, the past, I think, by that point, since WrestleMania 20.
And just to give a quick plug, go watch the review we all did of it last week in the description box. I'll post it in the description box.
Which is kind of the reason why this video exists now as opposed to later on, which we were originally going to. Yeah. Then afterwards, it made so much goddamn money that Vince was like, oh, wow, maybe we should bring this back as an official third brand. Okay, who's going to run the thing? I will. And that's the moment Paul Heyman face-bombed.
Yeah.
That means he could not build stars. He could only build props. Guess what? ECW One Night Stand 06 looked very promising. Van Dam was the champion. Balls Mahoney and Masato Tanaka just belted each other with chairs. Big Show actually looked like the fucking monster he always should have been booked as. Everything seemed to be going well, right? And then December to Dismember happened. And Bobby Lashley was the fucking prop. And then, after that, slowly but surely, Vince would become the champion, taking it away from Bobby Lashley, just because by that point he's like, I just wanted to fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
And then ECW would die pretty much 2.5 years after that fact, in 2010. What a great goddamn way. 3 years, 2.5 years, one of the fucking two. The point is, what a great way to maximize your fucking profit. You fucking idiot. So, as one Adam would say, I can do it better. And I did. So, we're going to get into it.
Oh, you're not going to do the thumbs up thing? And well, I guess it won't really work here because...
Well, I can't do the fucking ding.
Yeah, so...
No, I can't edit, so that's just not happening. But I can do it better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it better. So...
This is part 1, too, by the way. Part 1's just going to be...
Part 1's going to go over the intricacies of everything that I kind of booked. And that's going to go over the commentators, who's going to write the product, who's going to kind of be the head honchos in charge, essentially, as well as who's going to be on commentary, what the roster is going to look like, all that. What titles are going to be on there, pretty much everything. Well, who's going to contend for said titles as well.
I already have a question.
Go for it.
Does everything, up to One Night Stand stay the same? Everything?
Yes. Nothing from One Night Stand 06 changes.
Okay.
That was too good of an event to change. As shit as ECW 2006 was, the promising hope of 06. I mean, 06 was a great show. I mean, you can't really change that. I mean, that's the infamous fucking six person tag with Beulah Dreamer and Beulah Dreamer and Funk versus Foliage and Lita. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of cool matches on there. You had Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle, and my God, for a man that trashed ECW a year prior to that, my God, was he fucking over here. Like, you would have thought he was heralded as a hero in New York City. Like, that's how good the guy was. He was booed like shit at ECW One Night Stand a year prior, and after being booked like a badass all the way to his departure from SmackDown to ECW, fucking won the entirety of the ECW crowd over it. You cannot change ECW 06. It's too damn good. It's not as good as 05, but it is very, very good show. Both ECW One Night Stand events were really, really good.
Okay. So this is like this is once it goes on the air, then everything's...
Yeah, exactly. Now, the on-screen manager at this point would still be Paul Heyman. And the show is going to be a 2-hour format. That's another thing I fucking hated. You could tell they weren't going to take this seriously right off the goddamn gate. 1 hour in 2006?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
like that's how you know they weren't going to take this seriously. All right, you have SmackDown, that's 2 hours. And then fucking SmackDown, that's 2 hours. And then ECW only gets 1. And then everyone's like, well, that would have been way too much wrestling. And I didn't fucking stop them fucking 10 years later from adding fucking 15 more hours to their programming.
Yeah.
So why not add in the extra hour to ECW? Makes no sense to me.
You forgot to say the creative writers, too.
Yeah. And the creative writers, I wanted to say that after I got that point out of the way.
Oh, okay.
The creative writers are Shane McMahon, Paul Heyman, and Tommy Dreamer. I have Shane McMahon as the head, just to appease Vince, essentially, because if it's not going to be him, at least it's a McMahon. Yeah. And who better to run ECW than one of the craziest fucking motherfuckers that isn't really a wrestler to ever wrestle in a ring. I mean, the amount of shit that this dude's done, he might as well have been in ECW. So I think it makes sense. And then you have Tommy Dreamer and Paul Heyman, who was literally running ECW right up until its end. So why not? I say have those three as your teams, as your creative team. Commentary team is Joey Styles and Taz, with 2 Z's, by the way, Mike, not 1.
Wait, did you say Taz with 1 Z or 2?
1 Z, exactly.
Is he gonna go? Listen, he's gonna go for a quest for gold. He's gonna make a new.
If people don't understand what the hell we're talking about, just ask Aaron Rift. Just ask Aaron Rift to listen to the story.
Just Wade Needham.
Wade Needham. They'll tell you the damn story. Anyway, ring announcer still Justin Roberts, so as we know, he's pretty damn good. I mean, so long as he doesn't sound like he's fucking gargling on dick when he announces people.
Oh my God!
No, that's Joey Styles. I'm talking about Justin Roberts. Where he's like the Young Bucks. Like he held that Young in for a while at Double or Nothing. That guy. This is the same guy.
Young. Fuck. I mean, fuck.
Then we have, all right, so now I'm going to go over the signees. Now, you're going to hear a lot of names repeated because not only am I going to go over the signees, but I'm also going to go over who ranks where within the title scene in ECW. So you're going to hear these names twice. That being said, here is the signees in complete random order. Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Balls Mahoney, Terry Funk, Mick Foley, Edge, more on him later, Kurt Angle, Big Show, Shane McMahon, Chris Benoit, Ken Shamrock, again, more on him later, CM Punk, Too Cold Scorpio, again, more on him later, Elijah Burke, Marcus Corvan, Mike Awesome, more on him later, Masato, I should say, I don't know why I auto-corrected him, Masato Tanaka, Steven Richards, Umaga, Test, Mordecai, not Kevin Thorne, Hardcore Holly, Finley, Just Incredible, Shad Gaspar, JTG, Ken Anderson, CW Anderson, more on those two in a minute, Little Guido, Tony Mamaluke, you gotta have the FBI in there, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, it's the fucking Hardy Boys, Johnny Nitro, Joey Mercury, they were feuding with the Hardy Boys, Psychosis and Super Crazy, the Mexicools and ECW originals, Chavo Guerrero, not an ECW original, but could have been a very good fit, and I paired him with the Mexicools, Tajiri, and, of course, everybody's favorite, Taka Michinoku.
I noticed Taka goes everywhere.
In our bookings, pretty much Taka is everywhere, let's be honest. But by this point, he would have actually been a free agent, and you could have signed him. Managers and valets as well. Kelly would be the valet for CM Punk, and not Mike Knox.
Yeah. I noticed Mike Knox isn't in here, so that was a good call.
Yeah. Because he was green as goose shit by then.
Yeah.
Melina, valet for Eminem, obviously. Francine will be the valet for Varsity Club. Remember the Andersons? Guess who they're managed by? Arn Anderson, who was also in the managers.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Because I'm a bitch like that. But yeah, Beulah McGillicuddy, obviously going to valet for Tommy Dreamer. Joe Gertner, manager for Ken Shamrock. So a lot of criticisms for Shamrock was that he couldn't really talk on the mic. Giving him Joe Gertner completely solves that problem. Arn Anderson, I already mentioned him. Little Bastard, manager, I guess, for Finley and Hardcore Holly, who I have as a team. Armando Alejandro Estrada for Umaga. Ariel for Mordecai. So I kept the Ariel name, but their gimmicks are completely different. It's basically under the Mordecai persona because I think fucking... Fuck off.
That gimmick would still to this day never get over.
Are we talking about Mordecai or the Vampiro or the Gangrel ripoff?
I'd rather go with the Gangrel ripoff than fucking Mordecai. Hi, I'm the religious dude. Oh, okay. He
would have been. I think there was a whole thing where he wasn't even supposed to be religious. It was supposed to be like anti. I have no idea. All I know is from that gimmick, it would have made more sense for him to be that gimmick than the Kevin Thorne gimmick if he was going to be in this, because you kind of need that you need some anti-ECW feel to come in, not just people from fucking Raw and SmackDown. That's kind of what his role is. And then to round it out, Trinity for FBI, because she was actually the valet for FBI, and Lita for Edge, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Now your championships are the ECW World Title, the ECW Television Title, the ECW Tag Team Titles, and the ECW Hardcore Title, which would have already been brought back by this time by Mick Foley and Edge.
You did say too, the writer was on. You said it in the Royal Rumble Retro Series. The writer was on the wall for ECW in 06 when it was just the ECW World Title people were fighting for, not the.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like the writing was on the wall when it was just that belt. You cannot have just one title. You can't. That's why back in 07, when it was in its dying days anyway, and we're only getting like barely over 1.0s in the Nielsen ratings, they had to bring in the WWE Tag Team titles that were on SmackDown. That's why they had to hold stupid ECW SmackDown brand trade agreement or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because they fucking sucked at, building up the brand in the first place. So they had to put the tag team titles on Miz and Morrison to counteract the balance or the imbalance of ECW only having one championship.
And Matt Hardy had to go down there. Matt Hardy was the U.S. champion down there as well. So.
Yep. Which
also,
he eventually lose anyway, but it was basically just kind of make ECW look sort of good, but wasn't still good.
You should also say, too, you can't have, just one title, too, in a 2-hour show. So that's obviously why you have to bring multiple titles in there, too, because it's a 2-hour show
exactly
versus an hour. So.
Yeah. And that's exactly, but even then, at the very least, could you have at least done tag titles?
Yeah.
Really, guys, if you're going to do a 1-hour show, at least put the tag team titles in. How is it that NXT was able to have 3 belts on their show with an hour time slot, yet you couldn't do it with ECW?
Yeah.
Fuck off, mate. Anyway, we go to the contenders for the ECW World Title. Obviously, we mentioned Van Dam's the champion for the World Title.
Does he win it in a match, or does he get awarded the championship? Because I didn't really like that he just got awarded the championship. I think he should win it in a match or something.
He won it because he won the WWE title. He would have dropped the WWE strap in replacement for the ECW strap because he won the WWE title. He dropped it because he liked the EC. He felt more proud about ECW.
Yeah.
The biggest babyface on this, by the way, should be Van Dam.
Yeah.
Period. I don't know. After that shoot promo he gave the year prior, there is absolutely no excuse why Van Dam should not be the face of that brand.
Well,
I don't care if he gets fucking popped for, weed later on or whatever. He's the face of this brand.
Yeah.
Period. With that being said, Edge would be your number one contender, the ECW antagonist. That's why I have him in there, because he would have... the way I would have booked him to be in ECW. Everybody remember the TLC match between John Cena and Edge at Unforgiven?
Yep.
Mike, you familiar with this?
I literally just said yes.
Okay. So, Cena had the stipulation if he lost, he would leave. He would leave Raw, go to SmackDown. Or ECW, considering that would have been a brand then. Now, Edge did not have that stipulation. So automatically you knew who was going to win. Now, if you put that stipulation on Edge as well, in a loser leaves town match, then it would have been a lot more interesting. And then you could still have Cena beat him, but instead of Edge going to SmackDown, he goes to ECW.
And it makes
right
sense.
Out of the gate, jumps right to ECW, because if he can't be the number one on Raw, he'll just crush everybody's hearts and souls in ECW.
And it makes sense because of his rated R persona, too.
Yep. And also the fact that he was actually feuding with people from the ECW contingent anyway.
Mike was going to say something, though, so.
Go for it, Mike.
What?
I
didn't say shit.
I thought I cut
literally,
you off.
No, I didn't say shit. I was just listening in. I was exhaling oxygen, good sir.
Because it's hot as balls.
Yeah. All right, continue,
Fucking hot outside, dude.
With that being said, here are the rest of the ECW World Title contenders. Terry Funk, Elijah Burke.
Terrible choice. Throw him out.
I love Terry Funk. No.
I would put him in the hardcore division.
Because Terry Funk has so much more name value than that. I mean, you could have him in the hardcore division. It's not that you couldn't. You could definitely alternate, but right now, ECW World Title. There's a reason why I'm having him there.
I thought Terry Funk, too, couldn't wrestle after that 6-man match because he, destroyed his body in that 6-man match.
Yeah, because Foley was an idiot and fucking punctured his eye with a goddamn boot.
So I'm assuming that that's not happening. And
yeah, we're not. That's how you avoid that.
Yeah, just tell him not to do that. So
yeah, there you go. That being said, Terry Funk, Elijah Burke, Kurt Angle, Test, CM Punk, Big Show. That rounds out the entire contingent for the ECW World Title. Now, I know people are going to be like, why Test? Why are you still having Test in there? The reason I'm having Test still in here, he was one of the shining moments in that ECW Elimination Chamber match. He did that fucking crazy-ass elbow drop, which I still can't believe he fucking did.
Yeah.
It probably contributed to his early death later on during the fucking year. But yeah, I would have him in there. Kurt Angle, obviously it's fucking Kurt Angle.
He was there anyways, yeah.
And I have a reason, and I have a way you can keep him by December to December 2 instead of letting him go, which I will get to in a minute. Elijah Burke, he was one of the new breed members, and the guy's too good to just be a fucking let me build up a bunch of fucking wins. Just put him in the main event. If you want new blood mixed with old blood, just elevate him right there. Punk, same thing. Yeah. And then obviously Big Show, he's your dominant guy. He's your dominant big man.
Yeah.
Now you'll hear those names again later on. Mainly those 6 guys after Edge. The ECW television title contenders will be Chris Benoit, Ken Shamrock. And the reason I have Shamrock in here is he went to UFC, got his ass kicked by Tito Ortiz, looked like a bitch. Signing him now to ECW, back to the WWE, completely avoids that from happening. Chavo Guerrero, Tuco Scorpio, Marcus Corvon, another new breed member, Mordecai, and Steven Richards. And then we get to the ECW hardcore title scene. So right now, the current champion is Mick Foley. It's been rebranded. Instead of the WWE hardcore title, it's the ECW hardcore title now. You have Sabu, Sandman, Balls Mahoney, Tommy Dreamer, Shane McMahon, Mike Awesome, Masato Tanaka, Umaga, and Just Incredible. So obviously all your hardcore nuts.
Is the ECW hardcore title going to look the same, or are you going to redesign it?
It will be redesigned by December to December time. As opposed to, keeping the same design, the same broken winged eagle belt or whatever it is. Now, the reason I don't have a basically a ranking system for the ECW tag titles is because I decided to do a tournament instead with the 8 tag teams I have that I've built up, that I've kind of paired together here. So, FBI will take on M&M. Which, by the way, let me actually preface this by saying this. This tournament for the tag titles, that's going to begin on September 11th, 2006. If people were kind of familiar with the state, this is when ECW, under the WWE umbrella, went to Madison Square Garden for the first time. And it also culminates at the Survivor Series with the qualifier match, with the final qualifier match, I think, on the ECW portion of the show. So these are the people these are the tag teams, I should say, that will be involved. FBI will take on M&M. Mexicals will take on Hardcore Holly and Finley. Kai and Tai of Tajiri and Taka will take on the Varsity Club. Ken Anderson and CW Anderson. And then Hardy Boys will take on Crime Time. Hardy Boys will be screwed out by M&M because M&M were screwed out by the Hardy Boys, so that keeps that match for ECW Dismember to Dismember. Oh, and by the way, did I mention they're actually on the brand this time?
Yeah.
And yeah, then there's, and by the way, this is all culminating in a fatal 4-way tag turmoil match. So the winner of these matches are going right into the the 4-way tag match. That is going to be, I'm just going to spoil it now, the FBI versus Mexicals versus Kai and Tai versus Crime Time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, typical ECW bullshit, game warfare, yes.
I think Mike said wait.
But where's Tajiri?
Tajiri's there. Now, Tajiri's with Taka.
What the fuck? That makes no sense.
Well, I mean, it was either him or Funaki, and I decided to go with Tajiri because I think Tajiri and Taka would be a cool team.
Okay.
Considering they actually had a feud back in ECW. So.
I mean, I wouldn't call them Kai and Tai because one of the members was never a member of Kai and Tai, but he's their own.
I just went with it just because why not? Yeah, basically. We're all right now. For some reason, I'm missing a part in here, and I don't know where it is. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I just have it all over the place here. But now we're gonna get. Here's the build to December to Dismember. So it's gonna be kind of short and sweet and to the point because obviously there are some loopholes that we got to get around here. So the ECW title match for the SummerSlam 2006 would be Kurt Angle versus Rob Van Dam, the champion going in, versus Big Show. And then, at this point, Big Show, I think I said Big Show loses. I guess I must have not have changed this. But I'm actually going to have Big Show win the title at SummerSlam. Due to the fact that Van Dam got popped, I think, by this point, for pot, and you need to kind of like have him serve his suspension whenever, which leads into December to December.
Okay. Maybe that's something you should have talked about.
Yeah.
No matter what the events that happen, like you this whole thing does not change the course of history. Things are going to happen the way that they have to happen.
Unless there's a way that unless there's a way you can find a way to prevent it that wouldn't completely fuck with the timeline. And in this case, I did find a way around this. So, Van Dam popped.
You cannot fucking stop the death of Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. That's just impossible.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
At this point, impossible.
But there are certain exceptions to the rule. This is one of them.
Yes.
So Van Dam's gonna win the belt.
You mean the belt?
Van Dam loses the belt to Big Show. Big Show is going to put both Van Dam and Kurt Angle on the shelf. So that way there's an injury angle for both of them. Kurt Angle needs to fucking seriously get clean and go to rehab, and then he can come back and, compete in like 3 months or whatever by the time December to December rolls around.
Well, how do you convince...
And Van Dam, same thing.
How do you convince Kurt Angle to go to rehab? Because, in the 24 special, he said they tried to convince him the best they could, but it was just, he wasn't going. So how do you convince him to go?
Well, I tell him we'll give him fucking pay.
Yeah.
We'll give him pay as he's going to rehab.
I mean, there's an easier way to do it.
That's another problem, and nobody wants to fucking put this back. Motherfucker.
I mean, there is an easier way around it, my dude.
What?
Oh, send Dreamer with him.
Yeah, send Dreamer with him, or have DDP work with him. That's one thing. And second thing, money talks.
Yeah.
Pay the motherfucker while he's on this fraternity leave, and then have him come back in 3 months. And if shit goes awry, which it probably will later on in 2007 anyway, then, whatever. Hold on a second. Doing a video. I don't know why she calls me when she knew I was doing a video. Doing a video. I'll tell you later. Oh, you.
Aw, gay.
Sorry, idiot. Hold you beforehand. There we go. All right. Now, that's done. That explains that whole thing. Now, we get on to the other build to December to Dismember. The hardcore title match is still Mick Foley versus Ric Flair. That match still happens with Foley retaining. This time it's for the hardcore title. That's the only difference. ECW television then hosts an ECW television title series similar to the Bound for Glory series in TNA, which will culminate at Survivor Series. A host of new talent comes in to compete, including Ken Shamrock, Chris Benoit, Elijah Burke, Marcus Corvon, etc.
Should you explain what the Bound for Glory series is? Because Mike might not know.
I've watched TNA.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Don't need to explain.
He was.
I watched. I existed at a certain point. So,
Yeah, he was around during the time they were doing the Bound for Glory series. Sad enough.
I was there during the dark days.
Yes. Now, that being said, the final four are the television title series, or of the television title series. I think I meant to say are the four I just mentioned. Elijah Burke versus Chris Benoit. Benoit wins, so that match happens earlier. And Ken Shamrock takes on Marcus Corvon, with Shamrock winning.
Yeah.
Now, would Shamrock still be in the company at that time, or would he be a part of
you would have to hire him back. He wasn't in UFC until a year later, but he was looking to either get back into pro wrestling or MMA for the right amount of money. So in this case, WWE would give him the right amount of money.
Yes, magical Vince McMahon is going to obviously give. Or are we going to say, at this point, Vince McMahon has passed away? We'll just say 2007, McMahon is dead.
Yeah, no. I know. This is very. Trust me, I know this is very wistful thinking, but there's still a glimmer of hope that if Shane is at least in charge, that will appease Vince a little bit.
Dad, listen, we need to stop telling Stephanie to have another child so we can do the fucking that we can't do that storyline, Dad. We will literally lose money.
And now I literally wrote this down because this is exactly how I have it written down, because even though I booked ECW better, it's still, well, you'll understand in a minute. The Survivor Series card looks a little different for the Survivor Series matches now, but I'm fine with it. Just can't be asked to do them. It was 2007 Survivor Series. Fuck that shit.
You mean 2006?
Sorry, I meant to say 2006.
Yeah, I don't think you can save that. I don't think you can save that show.
There's nothing you could have done to save that show.
Yeah. Yes, you can. You know how you can save that show? And I can explain it really quick. Somebody accidentally cut the power to the entire stadium, knocking their entire broadcast out.
Great. Fantastic.
I saved that pay-per-view.
So let's say that can we just say that happens?
Sure. I'm fine with it. Now we go straight into December to Dismember. And the card now looks like this. The hardcore title match is the opener, with Mick Foley, the champion, taking on Sabu. And by the way, I need to preface this because somehow WWE didn't get the concept of Extreme Championship Wrestling. All matches are no disqualification and no count out because it's ECW. So if you're bringing it back, do that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now,
maybe Vince forgot it was called ECW, and imagine it was called Eastern Championship Wrestling.
Well, by that point, they were doing no DQ matches in Eastern Championship Wrestling too. After the fucking NWA debacle, they fucking went straight on no rules. Anything goes. Anyway, that being said, the hardcore title match, Sabu is going to win with the Arabian Skull Crusher. Eminem versus the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys win with the Twist of Fate Swanton Bomb combo. This match still exists from the original December to Dismember because, one, it was actually a good match.
Yeah.
And two, it could be an even better match now that there's, let me preface that, no disqualification.
And no countouts.
And no countouts. That's going to be a great match now. Then you have a Fatal 4-Way Monsters Ball match that I like to call it. Balls Mahoney versus Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka versus Umaga.
Well, can you do Monsters Ball? Because doesn't TNA own the right to that then?
They called, didn't they have like a battle royal? It's not like a battle royal per se, but the monster match, I think they called it in ECW.
Oh yeah.
Some stupid Halloween special. This is what that would be. This is the better version of it with better competitors.
Yeah.
I would actually have Umaga actually win because Umaga was a really great talent. It was completely underutilized, and this spares him from getting buried by John Cena. Umaga wins with the Samoan spike to Tanaka coming from the top rope.
That'd be sick.
Then you have Tommy Dreamer versus Shane McMahon. The reason this match is happening is because Shane McMahon has kind of left his father in the dust after they got their ass kicked at him for giving the same event that Edge jumped ship to ECW. So he's like, I don't fucking need this anymore. Yeah. Shoves his father down on the ground on Raw, quits Raw, joins ECW, cuts a babyface promo like he's always wanted to be a part of it. Tommy Dreamer comes out, questions his real motives. Why do you really want to be here? Because if anybody is going to bleed ECW colors, it's me. You're just here so you can get some credibility or do your name and step out of your father's shadow. I actually give a shit about this brand. You're just using it for selfish gain. So that's the reason for this feud. It's a babyface versus babyface feud here. Both, like, Shane is still technically the heel, but by this point he would have turned babyface. So this is the reason this match happens. Shane McMahon is going to win with the coast to coast and shake Dreamer's hand for now. Then we all obviously
When does Stephen Blackman show up?
Man, I didn't have.
Please say no. Please say no. He
He's
just
not
never
on the roster.
shows up.
Dude, if Al Snow isn't on the roster, so neither is Steve Blackman.
Oh, thank God.
Head cheese, okay? God damn it, I just got that joke, too. Basically just, they literally had a team named Dick Cheese. Attitude Era. Anyway. ECW. ECW Fatal 4-Way Tornado Tag Turmoil for the tag titles. Crime Time versus FBI versus Kind Time versus Mexicools. Crime Time would be the first ECW titles. Tag champions of the new era.
There you go.
Then you have a really, really, really good match here for the ECW Television Championship in a submissions match. Really good? First Benoit versus Ken Shamrock. Yes. 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 I want this match. I've always.
You can, but I can say maybe because.
Why? You're not a fan of Shamrock, or?
No. It's just Shamrock by that time is kind of beaten up and worn down compared to an athlete like Benoit, who has by that time kept in incredible shape.
He was worn down when it came to UFC, but not with wrestling. There's a difference.
I mean,
there's a fucking huge difference between the two. That's
I know. I'm just pointing out. James, I am literally just pointing out the fucking elephant in the room that somebody that's watching this is going to ask the question. Let's be honest, that is a question that somebody's going to ask.
Well, yeah, and as I repeated again, the reason he's brought in now is because even though he's a little older, he will still be able to wrestle as opposed to getting his ass kicked by Tito Ortiz. That's why we signed him before
if you said
hands on him.
Example, if you said Dan Severn, I go, oh yeah, because Dan fucking is still wrestling to this day.
Yeah, well,
and he can still pull off incredible matches.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think he retired in 2011. He didn't have that much time there. Neither does Shamrock.
He retired from maintenance.
At least 2 more years ahead of fucking Dan Severn.
No, Dan Severn is still wrestling in independent promotions.
Yeah, but very rarely. He's like semi-retired.
Yeah, Yeah, he's semi-retired, but that's all the way up to 2011, and if we know correctly, the fucking ECW only lasted all the way up to about 2011, so.
10, but yes. Although with this, the way I'm booking it so far, it ain't lasting that short. But anyway, after a hard-fought match, Chris Benoit's going to win by countering the ankle lock into the crippler crossface. I mean...
That's really hard to do.
It's very hard to do, but Angle and Benoit have done it many times. That being said, the very final two matches are still the ECW Extreme Elimination Chamber. The competitors are a little bit different. And the winner doesn't get the title, but they become the number one contender for the world title at some point down the line. So, the competitors are Terry Funk, Elijah Burke, Kurt Angle, Test, CM Punk, and Big Show.
What Test?
As I said, because Test did that ridiculous fucking elbow drop, and I really want to keep that in there because it was fucking cool. And he actually did very, very good in that match. It wasn't just that elbow drop. So
I'm just pointing out that with the people in the ring, who we do not think of going into an Extreme Elimination Chamber match, and that's Test. That
makes him a dark horse. Why not?
I guess.
I mean, you can't have it be all like the good guy. Like it can't just be everybody he likes. If that makes sense, you have to have one.
I know. I'm just saying. Okay, what if I had my choice to replace Test? I don't know if you already said it, but I would have put Sandman in. But I would have made him an early elimination, obviously.
Because also can't wrestle. So
also too, we gotta say, like, you can't, in the ECW roster, if you just have all of like the original ECWs, then you need to make new stars in the ECW brand too. You can't just
that was the whole reason it was brought back in the first place. Yeah. So you're combining two great worlds right here, and so I don't really want to change that too much.
That's fine. I'm just pointing it out there. That's all.
And the way this is going to end is with Kurt Angle and CM Punk, who, along with Terry Funk, eliminated the Big Show altogether. So he's gone. He loses the belt. You're guaranteed. I'm doing the the No Way Out 09 finish, where you're guaranteed a new world champion.
What do you mean? This is for number one contendership.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because by that point he would have lost the belt back to Van
Dam.
Silly me. Yes, because he invokes his rematch clause, because rematch clauses are still a thing, and you got to write around that. So Van Dam, I should have put that in the booking as well. Van Dam at some point would have won the belt back from Big Show by the time he got back from, his pot bust.
I think Survivor Series 06, because he was back by then.
Survivor Series 06, you give him the belt, and then, he goes in to a two-week title program with Edge.
Yeah.
I know that's not really too long of a time period, but it's really the best that you can do. And plus, you can start it like 4 weeks in advance with Edge just talking shit to Van Dam.
Yeah.
And pretty much about ECW anyway. And he's been fighting ECW original after ECW original, fighting new breed after new breed, trying to get to the top of the ECW, herd. So he finally gets the number one contendership for December to Dismember. In the meantime, Van Dam won the belt back from Big Show.
What you didn't? First, you got to say who was who becomes the book contender in the Extreme Elimination.
Yeah. So the person who becomes the new number one contender after the title match after this would be CM Punk. CM Punk wins with the Anaconda Vice by countering Kurt Angle's Angle Slam.
Yeah,
I think that would be a sick visual to end that match. And then it would really, really put Punk on this like fucking huge pedestal to top out an Olympic gold medalist with a legit submission move like the Anaconda Vice. I think that would put him over massively.
And by that point,
of course,
Kurt Angle,
in the original, they just decided to fucking bury him.
and especially too, like by that point, Kurt Angle hadn't really tapped out all that much. He only tapped out.
Yeah, this would be one of the rare times that Kurt Angle would actually tap.
Yeah.
CM Punk, and he doesn't look like a bitch for it after the fact.
No, because he was in an Extreme Elimination Chamber match for however long this match is. So,
and also
especially if Punk traps his leg in a chair and stomps it like at least 3 or 4 times.
Yes,
just fucks up his leg. So that when he applies, I say he has to. If Punk's gonna win this thing, you might as well have Punk fucking apply the ankle lock onto Angle at the end of it.
Well, I don't know if he should tap out to his own move, but like he does every day.
Well, if he's going, if it's going to be something to put Angle away, it should be his own move.
Maybe I don't know. I'll say we'll save that for when we come to it. I don't think he needs to put him away with his own ankle lock yet. But in this case, he definitely can do damage with his own maneuver, absolutely. But it's Kurt Angle's finish. I don't think I'm highly against people and I don't think the storyline calls for it where Kurt taps to his own finish. That being said, Punk's your new number 1 contender after December to Dismember because he won the Extreme Elimination Chamber. And your main event for the ECW World Title is Edge, the number 1 contender, versus Rob Van Dam, the newly crowned champion by this point, 2-time ECW champion now, going up against Edge. Edge wins with a midair spear on Van Dam, who's going for it's supposed to say who's going. Okay, hold on, because I know I probably just cut out massively there.
No, you didn't cut out.
Yeah, you're fine now.
All right, you cut out on my end for some reason. But yeah, Edge wins with who's going for the 5-star frog splash. He counters it into a midair spear. Heyman and Van Dam stand in the ring disheartened as Edge walks away with the belt on the ramp. Joey Styles freaks out on commentary along with Taz being concerned. That's how December to Dismember goes off the air. You close it out with a fucking champion that no one would have expected.
And no one wants. No one
would want off the bat. And a lot of people would be like, why is Edge going to be the champion here? No one wanted to see that. Yes, you did. Because you're going to want to see whoever takes the fucking belt off him.
Yeah.
You're going to pay to see Edge get his ass kicked.
By the way, is ECW going to be TVMA or not quite?
Oh, yeah, no, it's being TVMA.
So, yeah, imagine Edge's rated R gimmick can do in the TVMA format. Like
it's ECW, yes.
Yeah.
100%. And already, I keep in mind I've actually got a fucking roster built that makes sense for the most part. I have 4 titles that you can go for on that brand, much like Raw, much like SmackDown. They have 4 titles each brand. I have a clear creative team with Shane McMahon, Paul Heyman, and Tommy Dreamer. I got a really good commentary team in Joey Styles and Taz. I got everything built up to the point that you have built a far superior December to Dismember card than the piece of shit we actually got in real life.
You have to change.
Already, this is a win.
Well, wait, one thing, you got to change the venue too, because that was one of the problems with the ECW December to Dismember. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, where no one really likes. You have to put it in a different venue.
Okay, we'll go to Chicago, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's because
simple.
Because Atlanta, Georgia, people don't really care about ECW. I don't know.
You go to Chicago for ECW, especially with CM Punk to win the champion match.
See, that's what they should have done with the ECW pay-per-views to begin with, is have them in areas where ECW is a popular thing, specifically in the fucking the north mid to like the northeastern part of the country.
I agree.
Yeah.
Where ECW was popular. Because
where it was big.
When and I've said this 100 times, I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face. If you pleasure the hardcore fans are going to get the casual fan to watch anyway. Case in point, Mike Nikos, who was completely disenfranchised himself from wrestling entirely because of WWE's bullshit. Sees one event from AEW, is completely hooked with that product now.
Same thing probably could have happened here.
Same thing probably could have happened with ECW if you actually...
Well, even with our thing as well, James, to give a good example, we took a wrestling fan who didn't watch wrestling for up to 16 years.
Yep.
And turned him into a fan of our product, so...
If you please the hardcore fan, the casual fan will follow because they will want to see what they're into.
What's all the hubbub?
For the record, and everyone wants to say, well, the casual fan's just a fad. It doesn't exist. Oh, yeah, really? Then explain to me why Raw got its highest rating back in the day of over 7.8.
Yeah.
And now it's down to, what, below 2 million in the Nielsen rating? I guarantee you it's because you pleased the hardcore fan, and the hardcore fan got the casuals to watch, idiot. It's business 101. You don't need to have an economics major to know that. So keep that in mind as we go into part 2 when we build ECW's brand into WrestleMania 23.
I know, yeah.
It's going to be amazing. I even did the whole card for Mania to do this.
Yeah. Because think about it, this is only part 1. We got 2 more parts after this, so...
Yes. I haven't even written part 3 yet. I'm probably going to do that this week. But part 2 I have done. And it's going to be great.
Want to do part 2 right after this, or just make them wait?
We'll make them wait. We're going to make them wait today. Okay. Plus, I'm very tired.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I'm very tired. The last days have been something to do with wrestling booking, and my brain power can only handle so much with that, and, school 3 hours a day on Monday, Wednesday, and having to study a shit ton for tests. It's very time-consuming, so...
I've also been outside a good chunk of the day as well, so I'm fucking not there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
So let's do
It's been a hot one today, my dude.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
yeah, let us know in the comments what you think of this. If you don't like it, yell at James because he came up with all of this. So
I will personally take the blame. You could yell at me. Yell at me all you want.
James,
criticize me all you want. I can take the heat.
It doesn't mean that he's gonna listen.
Well, it's already
You can yell at him all you want. You can yell at him all you want, but how much can you listen when it comes to text?
Yeah, right. You can't.
I can read. I'm not illiterate.
Caps lock doesn't have volume.
Well, the thing is too.
You can imagine it does.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at Oni Lorcan's Twitter.
Well, James, the difference between here and real life is you can't really you can't really change fantasy. It's already kind of it's just
no shit.
Yeah. But
But that's fun about fantasy. You can still have fun with it.
And if everyone's kind of wondering, I can't keep track of this. I'm having trouble following along. I will make sure. Actually, James, since you have access to
I'll make sure I correct everything, and I'll put it in the comment section below.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So this is just part 1, though. So
this is part 1. I'm only gonna post the part 1 part in the comments. So
yeah, and then maybe by part 3 he'll post the whole thing. So
yes. Yes.
All right, but let's do the plugs and promotions. We'll start with Mike because he's got the least amount of stuff to plug. So there you go.
On Twitter and follow me on Instagram. Those things I guess will be in the description below. I have to go to bed. I got work at fucking 6:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So we're not doing booking here tonight, Mike.
Good night, boys.
Good night.
All right. Night.
You do your plugs and it's all in the description box now. Just
everybody go to the description box. It's all there. You guys can find me on Twitter and YouTube. It's jhebertside95 for both. That's youtube.com/users/JHEBERTSIDE95. and twitter.com/JHEBERTSIDE95. And also check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling, which is my CAW league, which you can check out on youtube.com/user/WYW Pride.
You should probably spell Weymouth because I guess it's a local thing. Not a lot of people know how to spell it. So.
Oh yeah, WEYMOUTH.
And then youth and youth and wrestling. You can kind of you should be able to spell that, but
I mean, if you can't spell youth, here it is, YOUTH.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wrestling.
I would hope people know how to spell wrestling. I mean, this is a wrestling channel.
Yeah. It's all one word, right?
Yeah. Weymouth Youth Wrestling, it could be 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words. I'm pretty sure you'll find it either way.
Oh yeah. Well, I know sometimes YouTube's weird. Like you have to type it in a certain way on the show.
Yeah. Just type it in 3 words at a time. Yeah. You should be able to.
All right. And then for me, like I said, subscribe to this channel. 2,000th videos coming up very soon, like next week, because this is 1,995. Can you believe we're at 2,000? Like,
is this 1,999?
No, this is 95.
I was about to say, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I believe the videos. I believe the videos like that will follow this will be the one. I forgot to ask Mike if he could do the rundown tomorrow.
I'll talk to Mike. I'll see what we're doing.
And we're doing a unique approach to the wrestling rundown. We're gonna record the first half at 3:30. Me and Chris Dodd and whoever else will be on. We'll talk about. And then later on in the night, we're gonna record the second half where we'll talk about AEW. That's for you guys. That's for you guys' benefit. So you don't have to be. You don't have to come on at 3:30 to talk about.
That makes sense. That actually is a really good way to do it.
I might try to do it that way. I'm only doing it that way now too because I want to have AEW and Extreme Rules in the same video. So.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, is that all you're doing? Is reviewing both of them?
Well, we might talk about Jeff Hardy's arrest. And then,
are you gonna save that for both the AEW and WWE contingent?
I mean, I was just gonna have it be the WWE part of it because it's a WWE, topic really. Because Jeff Hardy signed with WWE. Unless you want me to save it for you guys, so.
You could do it for both. I'll just be quick about Jeff Hardy's thing because I think it's more important than what wrestling company you fucking support.
That's true. And we'll talk about Bray Wyatt's new character because Chris hasn't been able to talk about it yet on video. And then Shelton
Benjamin. If you want me on there, I'll actually talk about the Bray Wyatt new character.
All right.
I did not mind it. Are you guys? Talking about Raw as well? Raw and
I haven't seen Raw yet. I wanted to review Extreme Rules without the knowledge of the main roster because I don't know because the main roster.
You tend to enjoy it better.
Yeah, and I want to be fair to the main roster versus AEW because Raw could have just ruined Extreme Rules, in the span of 3 hours. So I don't know if it happened, but we'll see. But yeah, and then what would be the next? I think the next video will be because I would like to have this booking done before 2,000 videos and 1,996 will be part 2 of this, and then 1,997 will be part 3 of this. 1,998 it's going to be my reviews for NXT UK and NXT all in one video because
that's fine.
Because I don't want to do it in multiple videos, and then I don't know what 1,000.
I have an idea for you actually.
What 2,000th?
I have an idea for you actually, and I might as well put this on video. You're the NXT 4 Horsemen, right?
Yeah.
What if you do the rundown like this? WWE talk with Dodd and whoever else wants to come on. NXT 205 and UK talk with the 4 Horsemen, NXT 4 Horsemen, and then the AEW guys as the Indie Force.
And is this for 2,000 video or just for wrestling rundown?
No, this is for the wrestling rundown.
Yeah, we can try it.
Because I think that would actually work out better for you.
Well, it also depends though, because Colin Chris's schedule can be weird sometimes because they work weird hours. So.
Well, ask them whenever they have free time and see if you can make it work. And also talk to Noah and see if you can bring him on for the 205 Live stuff too. So, like, obviously the Four Horsemen and Noah Foster essentially should be there. Yeah. And then you can have us for the AEW stuff.
I think, too, we're going to try to do Ultima Lucha, the first review before 2002. We should do that.
Okay.
Get that done.
Fine with that.
And then, subscribe. So, subscribe to this channel for all of that stuff. And then I'm only talking to you and CM Brothers for my non-wrestling video and CM Brothers just for both. Because it exists.
Yes.
And then everything else you want to subscribe to is in the description box in people's like Twitters and Instagram and stuff that are not here. So you can just go there and find it.
Indeed.
All right, and then that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Did you put the light on your face on purpose, by the way, or does that just happen?
Yes.
Okay. Just had to know. All right, now we'll say goodbye.
All right, bye, Owen.